What should you be eating on a GLP-1? We hear all the time about protein, but is that really the most important nutrient, or is there one that's just as important? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel for another video today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, my name is Brittany and I have lost 115 pounds using branded Mounjaro and then compounded tirzepatide. And I share my journey here. I share news stories. I share research that I've done. I share all of the things, other people's stories. And so I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around and join in on the fun. We also have a free encouragement Facebook group that is always linked below. And you can come over there and get advice from other people and kind of just chat with like-minded people in the GLP-1 community. So what should you be eating on a GLP-1? The idea for this episode came because I've been seeing a lot of complaints recently in the Facebook group, people reaching out to me in emails, comments on my YouTube, talking about how they are constipated and they do not know how to fix it. And it got me thinking, and so I started to do some research. I watched several videos from several different dietitians talking about this, and it finally clicked for me the reason why so many of us might be constipated and why it just keeps getting worse and never gets better. So we're going to talk about that. We have been told the entire Mounjaro GLP-1 journey that protein is the most important nutrient that we need to be eating. And it's not unimportant. That's not what I'm saying, right? Like, we know we need protein for muscle retention and for satiety and for all of the other benefits that protein provides us with, blood sugar regulation, all of the things. But there is a macro or a nutrient that is just as important. And if you are eating all of the protein, you need to also be eating all of this, or they're not going to work the way that they are supposed to work. And that is fiber. Now, I'm going to go a bit further and say food fiber. So not necessarily like Metamucil or a fiber supplement. We need fiber from real food, and we need consistent fiber along with our protein so that we are able to process things the way that things are supposed to be processed in our body, okay? So when I was watching all of these different dietitians' videos, almost every single one of them, when they were listing out nutrients that you needed to be eating on GLP-1, fiber was always number one. It was before protein every single time. So fiber helps you with satiety, it helps you with fullness, and it prevents constipation. When you drastically increase your protein, which a lot of us are doing on a GLP-1 journey, right? We were not eating 100 grams of protein previously. And if you say you were, you're probably lying. When you drastically increase your protein, that promotes constipation. Protein, especially in the animal form, moves slower through your digestive system and just promotes you to get backed up. So when we are so drastically increasing our protein, we also need to be drastically increasing our fiber to balance that out. And so many of us are not doing so. The amount of fiber that is recommended to have daily is 20 to 30 grams, and that is actually quite difficult to do just from food. So of course there are supplements that you can have, but you should be trying to get most of your fiber every single day from food that you eat, okay? Now, where can you get fiber? What foods give you fiber? Obviously fruits. So like berries are really high in fiber. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, they have a pretty high fiber content. Legumes, which actually helps you two birds with one stone, because legumes are known to be high in protein and they also are high in fiber. So black beans, pinto beans, red bean, all of the beans are both high in protein and fiber and are really good, like should be staple in your GLP-1 diet. Have you ever had somebody say that they ate chili beans or they ate beans and then the next day they're having gas and they're bloated or whatever? 9 times out of 10, that is because of the fiber content in the beans that the person is not used to eating. And so their body's like, whoa, you're actually gonna give us some fiber. So what you should be doing is having that so regularly, I mean, not just beans, but fiber in general, that your body knows how to process it. And I got off on a tangent there, but yeah, the chili bean farts is a real thing that we all probably know about, but there are ways to prevent that as well, which we're going to get into, because when I hear people talking about fiber and why they don't want to eat a ton of it, like, okay, for example, a really good example is that Fiber One cereal, which I don't even know if they make it anymore. But when I was younger, my mom bought some of this Fiber One cereal, okay? And I was one of 6 children, so there are 8 people in our house, and she wanted us to eat this to have a healthier cereal option in the mornings or whatever. So we all ate this cereal, and like the whole day, the whole next day, we're all complaining of our stomach hurting. We're all complaining of passing gas and feeling bloated. And it was because we ate this amount of fiber that our body wasn't used to, and we did not do other things that needed to be done in order for our body to process that. And the big thing with fiber is that you have to drink water. If you do not drink a ton of water with your fiber, there was one really good video, I think it was by the GLP1 Hub, Anna, who is a dietitian or nutritionist, was talking about how if you don't drink water with fiber, it turns into a fibrous mass in your gut, and then that's why you have the bloating and the gas and all of that comes along with the chili bean farts, okay? So water is so important. So if you're ranking the nutrients that you need on a GLP-1, I mean, obviously these are all nutrients that we should have all been eating forever anyways, but let's face it, we weren't, and the GLP-1 is helping us to do that. Protein, fiber, and water are the top most important things that you need to have. Making up your plate should be, and this is, Anna actually had this advice, choose your protein first. You should try to choose an animal protein. So white fish, turkey, a lean protein, chicken, those types of things that are lean, even like a pork chop, but that's probably the least good of those options. But choose your protein first, then choose a fibrous food to go along with that protein. So you can choose some fruit, you can choose some vegetables. Green leafy vegetables are really high in fiber. And you could choose beans, you could choose something that has fiber in it, whole grains. Oats have fiber as well, so you could do that. Obviously, we're not eating oats with chicken, but for breakfast, some oatmeal has a lot of fiber in it. Choose your protein, then build the rest of your meal around that. So choose your protein, then choose the fiber that goes along with that protein. And then the third thing, and this is what I really liked about Anna and her video. I'm actually going to be interviewing her really soon, so I can't wait to dive into this more with her. But one point that she made in her video was that you should choose the third thing on your plate should be something that you want to eat. So you need the protein, you need the fiber, but you also need something that you want, whether that is a slice of bread, whether it is a little bit of pasta, a little bit of rice, a dessert after the fact, something that you want to eat. Because she really talks about how, and I 100% agree with, how the overall goal should be balance and wellness and health. And so, yes, you need those 2 nutrients, but you also need, for a variety of other reasons, your mental health, your emotional health, your all of that, something that you actually want, something that's going to give you comfort, something that's going to satisfy you in a different way than the other 2 would be nutritionally doing so. I hope that makes sense. So that was one point that she made that I loved. So ideal plate, protein, fiber, and something that you just want to eat, okay? I am not a proponent for counting, you guys know that, but counting is important for a lot of people. So if we're talking numbers, you should aim for 80 to 100 grams of protein per day if you are a woman, and a little bit higher if you are a man. They say 110 to 120 grams of protein per day. And then fiber is pretty universal, men versus women, 20 to 30 grams per day. And then at least 64 ounces of water per day. You know, growing up, they told us 8-ounce glasses. It was an easy way that we remembered it. You should have at least 64 grams of water a day. More is going to help you with your constipation and all of those other struggles as well. So yeah, there's so much talk about protein, but then at the same time, so many people complaining about constipation and about why they're bloated, or all of the other issues that come along with constipation, which are not fun, right? None of those are, the sulfur burps, none of that is fun. And so understanding what your ideal GLP-1 plate should look like, I think is really beneficial. That would have significantly helped me earlier in my journey. I am not somebody who prioritizes fiber or has ever prioritized fiber. And now I can definitely look back and say, okay, well, when I have broccoli regularly, or when I eat berries on my yogurt bowls regularly, I am more regular. It all makes sense and it all ties back together. Again, these are things we should have been eating to begin with, right? You should have always been eating protein and fiber and then something else on your plate. But a lot of us weren't. And so when we are told protein, 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 all of the time without the context of what needs to go along with protein to make your gut function well, then we get so focused on the protein and we don't eat our fiber and we don't drink our water. GLP-1s can make you not thirsty. They make you not hungry and they can also make you not thirsty. And so we need to be reminded, and more people need to say, it's not just about protein. There are other nutrients that we need, and we need to focus on all of the wellness of our body and not just the muscle loss. We are so focused on not having muscle loss that we forget that our body needs like so many other nutrients to function. We're very focused on protein. That's what everybody talks about, right? So I wanted to highlight some of the other things that we need in our bodies. And again, something you want, you should, and especially on a GLP-1, this might be controversial, I might get some pushback for this, but when you're on a GLP-1 that is calming your food noise and it's calming your cravings down, you should, especially at the stage I'm in maintenance, be able to have something you like every day and enjoy it and be able to move on from it. That's the ultimate goal. I made a video about maintenance last week where we talked a lot about this. The ultimate goal is to be able to sit down at a restaurant for your mom's birthday and have a piece of her birthday cake, a small slice, and move on with your life and not guilt yourself about it, not binge like crazy when you got home because you ate the cake. Be able to function as a normal human that can eat a slice of cake and move on. And so you should also be able to do that on your journey. It's not about significantly restricting yourself. We've done that, girlfriend, boyfriend, friend, we've done it. We have restricted ourselves for our whole lives and that's never worked. And so the idea of protein, fiber, something you want to eat, that's my new tagline. I'm stealing that from Anna because I love it so much. You should be able to eat something that you enjoy every single day and have no guilt around it, and you can still lose weight doing so. That is what we call intuitive eating. So I want to know your thoughts on this. Do you eat 20 to 30 grams of fiber per day? I do not, but I'm going to try to get better. One of the tips that pretty much every dietitian that I was watching said was to increase your fiber slowly. So don't go from an average of 5 to 10 grams of fiber per day and go directly to 30. Because you're gonna feel that. Your body's gonna back up. It's gonna have the opposite effect that you want. So increasing slowly over several days is what they all recommended doing. Of course, talk to your doctor, talk to your dietitian, your nutritional expert to get your specific advice. But that's what the general population in that world seems to believe. You gotta increase it slowly so that you don't have negative effects of it and then give up because you're bloated and crampy and farty. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Join us in the Facebook group. It is always linked down below. We have a lot of fun over there and we would love to have you over there. So I will see you guys in the next video and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.